But anyway, just to show you what the Democrats are willing to do by way of depriving our rights to give more choices and voices to the American people, they are denying the voters. When they knock us off the ballot, they're denying voters their free choice of candidacy. Teresa's also finished a book on this whole experience, which is going to expose the ballot access, obstruction, and more. We are a country, unlike any in the Western world, that obstructs voters and candidates with ever-increasing innovations every few years. And we've got to clean it up. Let me just indicate the focus of the campaign. The focus of the campaign is the concentration of corporate power almost over anything that moves anymore. Commercialism has subordinated civic values. Everything is for sale under commercialism. When corporations commercialize universities, professors start becoming for sale. When they commercialize our childhood by undermining parental authority and direct these marketing messages for junk food and junk drink and soft pornography, and they're undermining parental authority because the parents are away trying to get enough money to make ends meet, that is making our children for sale. When they contribute so much money with quid pro quos to our candidates, the candidates in our elections become for sale. When they dominate our government by putting their high executives in government positions like the Treasury Department, Department of Agriculture, Department of Defense, FDA, they have turned government into for sale. A democracy that allows the subordination of civic values, of democratic processes, of health and safety, of respect for posterity, when those civic values and others are subordinated to commercial values, you can clearly predict the decline year after year of our society. The unwillingness of the power structure to meet the necessities of the people, sometimes the barest necessity. Any democratic society worthy of its name will have its own democratic media. It will not rely on NBC, CBS, ABC, and other commercial media to decide who gets on and who doesn't get on while using our public airways for free. Because the democratic society would always insist on certain sanctuaries in our country that are never for sale. Elections should be never for sale. Public elections should be publicly funded. Our government should never be for sale. Education should never be for sale. Even the churches, many of them are now for sale. Commercialism is like a mad dog running amok throughout all kinds of hitherto prohibited territory. And we've let it happen. Somebody may say you're blaming the victim. The victim is the victim. The perpetrator is the perpetrator. But as my mother used to teach us, when we complained about things, she would say, I believe it's you. What did she mean? She meant it's up to you to change it, even if you're the victim, because you're the victim, especially because you're the victim. When are we going to start hearing from the poor in this country? When are the poor going to begin to organize? Even though they're up against it, and they can hardly get through the day. But that's been true throughout history in social change movements. Whether it's the poor or the middle class, it starts with a few. It always starts with a few, doesn't it? The 6 women in an upstate farmhouse in the 1840s in New York State, starting the suffrage movement. They never lived to see the amendment in 1920, but they lived to see some states, like Montana, give women the right to vote. But I don't think that thwarted them at all. I don't think the fact that they might have thought this was the beginning of a half-century or century drive daunted them at all to sign the leader. And what they did was they displayed another sign of leaders. They produced more leaders, not followers. to produce more women and some men in the suffrage movement. Rosa Parks, I was down to Rosa Parks Museum in Birmingham the other day. She persevered. She wasn't afraid. She knew she was going to be arrested. And when the bus driver said, "You have to go to the rear of the bus," she said, "I'm not going to." And a man came on the bus and he said, "Don't you know you have to give up your seat for me? You've got to go to the rear of the bus." She said, "I'm not going to." She was arrested. The rest was history. Why? Because there was a Montgomery bus boycott. Because people in Montgomery were African Americans and had to use the bus to go to work, walked. And this was December. They walked. They boycotted the bus line. And then it became national news. And you know what happened. Those workers in the sit-down strikes in Flint and Warren, Michigan in the 1930s against the auto companies, just think what they did. They put the livelihoods of their entire families at risk because they wanted to have a union. They wanted collective bargaining. They weren't going to be stomped on anymore. There was no unemployment compensation those days. There was no welfare in those days. Think of the courage of those workers and the same workers in the coal mines. And they put their entire livelihood on the line in Appalachia where there were no other jobs to strengthen, form United Mine Workers. If we want to be motivated, look at the finest moments in our history. If we want to be motivated, look at the scene around us. The media has a lot to be desired, but it gives us far more reports on injustice and abuses by corporations, it's your money, 60 Minutes, so on, than we're using. We're not using even what they're giving us. The papers are full of stories about corporate criminals, consumer rip-offs. We're not using. We're rationalizing our own futility. We grow up powerless. We have an educational system that teaches us to obey, to believe, not to challenge, not to think. We grow up being told, you can't fight City Hall, you can't fight ExxonMobil. And the result is that we have a subdued citizenry, except for a few people who show up, a few people who march, a few people who vote what they believe in, a few people who are not susceptible to political flattery or foolery or being flummoxed. That's the difference. That's why you're here. That's why we're doing this all over the country. That's why up and down California, Arizona, New Mexico, the Midwest, the South, New England, with a tiny budget, so tiny you wouldn't believe it, you will see what determination, authenticity, and an important message can do to politics in this country. Because what we have raised so far, since February 24th, is 1/5 of what Barack Obama raised in a single day 2 days ago. And they're still giving to Barack Obama. Flattered, fooled, and flummoxed. Change and hope. Hope and change. Like a metronome. Hope and change.